But let's move, man. Let's move to Stephen A. Smith. Yesterday when he talked about the podcast, and we're gonna get into the podcast. JJ Redick and LeBron James on the next segment. The podcast is called Mind the Game, right? And this podcast is supposed to be them sitting down and having these two like minds. They both think of themselves as sickos. That's JJ Redick's favorite word for anybody who really loves basketball and who loves it enough to study it and loves it enough to watch old games, current games, high school games, college games. Like, if you really like basketball, this is what he calls a sicko, right? And I guess this is something unique to I guess being a sicko is something new, and now there is not a lot of sickos out there. There's sickos who didn't even make it to college for whatever reason. Like, it's not only professionals that's watching, excessive amount of basketball, right? But he wants to be rewarded and given this special title for it. He wants to be a savant, a sicko. But now they get together for this podcast, and we supposed to be impressed. And Stephen A. Smith said something real interesting. I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
But having said all of that, let me be the first to say LeBron James was a little bit slick here too. Brilliantly slick, I might add, because he could have had that conversation on uninterrupted. He could have been talking to Maverick Carter. He could have been talking to Rich Paul. He could have been talking to his crew of boys. But he chose to do this with J.J. Redick. Who is J.J. Redick? One of the great shooters in the history of the game, who had a 15-year plus career in the NBA, who is now a color commentator, a part of the A-Team with Mike Breen and Doris Burke on ABC and ESPN games, who's also a contributor to my daytime job, First Take, along with other shows, not to mention the fact he's got his own podcast, The Old Man and the Three, which is very popular. So what happens is when you get with somebody like a JJ who knows the game, who's a brilliant basketball mind, but can be a bit truculent or acerbic at times when somebody he believes is ignorant is in his face talking about the game, to have a voice like that serves LeBron in a multitude of ways because it provides him cover from the regular discourse that would serve to criticize or sully his name in any way, because he don't want to do it. He believes that's beneath him. So he got with somebody that'll do it for him. Not to say that's what JJ signed on for, not to say that's what JJ is about. I'm just saying that JJ knows the game, and he is quick to check anybody who thinks they know stuff they don't know about the game of basketball. It's a brilliant move on LeBron James' part. Very slick. And it will work like heaven against everybody except me. It won't work. When you go out on that wing and you jacking up shots you don't need to jack up, or you're hesitant about getting to the free throw line, or you choosing to shoot a fall away jump shot instead of taking it to the hole and being that man amongst boys that you are, JJ ain't gonna be able to help you there, no matter what he says. But it is a brilliant idea, and everybody should want to watch J.J. Redick with LeBron James.
So he said that this was a brilliant move by LeBron James because he's using J.J. Redick, and he mentioned some things. J.J. Redick is on the A-Team for, I don't know what he called games for, ESPN, ABC, one of those networks. He's calling games. He's up there with Doris Burke and all that stuff. He's rose up the ranks, right? He has a regular spot on ESPN's First Take. He has his own podcast and media company. So, his voice is going to be out there. His voice is going to be calling games. His voice is going to be analyzing the game the next morning on ESPN First Take. He's going to be on the playoffs. And he's got his own podcast, with millions of followers that also hear his voice. So LeBron James, the way he has Gilbert Arenas somehow in his pocket, he's friended Gilbert Arenas. Now Gilbert Arenas feels forever indebted to him, and he won't allow any LeBron slander to go down. Like when Rashad McCants was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Gil's Arena a couple of days ago, and they was talking about the EPO stuff with LeBron James. Gilbert Arenas came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh, you don't want to go there because we can bring up Michael Jordan." And then he started accusing Michael Jordan of the same stuff. Like, I don't understand why when people bring up something or critique a player or bring up something that, hey, look, this is a red flag. The go-to move for people, especially people who are supporting LeBron, is to let me find out what player you like, and then let me put him under the same scrutiny somehow. Or misery loves company. If you say this player did this and you're critiquing him, let me find when the player that you might like did it, and then let's cow tie them together. So when they talked about the LeBron stuff, Gilbert Arenas was like, nope, we ain't talking about it. We're gonna talk about Jordan doing it. I just don't get that. But this is what you have when you have alliances with voices and platforms, right? And how do you get those alliances? Well, in the case of Nick Wright, you just sign him to your agency, Clutch Sports. Nick Wright is forever indebted now. He gets invited to all the parties. He gets all the free gear and all that stuff. And who God knows what else he get. There's a rumor that Shannon Sharp is affiliated with Clutch Sports. I don't know if he signed to him, but we know he's affiliated. So when you get guys like that, and we know the tie with Kendrick Perkins and Shannon Sharp was arguing on First Take earlier or late last week about who supports LeBron the most. They was arguing about who glazes this man the most. I never forget when I was a kid, and I got 3 older sisters, and my dad used to work from sun up to sundown. He come home tired. He worked construction. He come home tired, 8:30 at night. He been gone since 5 a.m. He come home at 8:30 at night with these big boots on. I always had mud all on the boots and big old boots. And he was so tired that he couldn't even take his own boots off. And my sisters used to race to the living room because it's 3 of them, but there's only 2 boots to take off. And they used to fight over who get to take off dad's boots. Right. That's how much they wanted to help my dad out, and we appreciated what he did for us. Right. But here you got 2 grown men on national TV fighting over who's taking off LeBron's boots. They're fighting over who takes his boots off the best. I don't understand it. They was literally fighting. Kendrick Perkins said, "You just got on this LeBron train. I've been here since we played AAU basketball together. I've been here since 01. He was bragging about it. These are the type of people that we dealing with, man. Bragging about it. These are 2 grown men. And Shannon talked with that lisp. I ain't never seen no dude bite his tongue like that when he say somebody's name. I seen some girls do it. I know some girls that was sweet on me that bite their tongue when they say my name. But I ain't never seen no dude bite his tongue when he say LeBron name or when he say Skip. I've never seen that. So I mean, I'm not saying there's some funny business going on. I'm just saying it's very weird behavior. But nonetheless, all of these dudes are voices for LeBron. He's got ties with them. And what Stephen A. Smith was implying is, now he got JJ Redick. But it ain't now he got JJ Redick. He's been had JJ Redick because they probably been talking about this for a while anyway. But JJ Redick has been fighting for LeBron for about 2 or 3 years now. Fighting all his battles. Even the battles that JJ Redick fights about protecting this era of basketball and clowning the era of basketball before us, right? 70s, 80s, 90s. Bob Cousy had to come out and cuss him out. Dominique Wilkins had to come out and cuss him out. Michael Cooper had to come out and cuss him out. I've did videos on this. Y'all can just go search the videos of Rick Barry, Bob Cousy, Dominique Wilkins, and Michael Cooper. All had to come out and clown and just put JJ Redick, back in his place because he was clowning Larry Bird, saying he wasn't a great 3-point shooter because his percentages was 33%. We know Larry Bird was a great 3-point shooter. What are you talking about, JJ Redick? Like, you're an idiot, man. So, but the only reason why he really protects this era of basketball because it further helps him protect LeBron. So they've already been in allegiance. Now it's out in the open. They got a podcast together. And all this podcast is doing is trying to show everyone how smart they both are. Right. So I get that part. But I do want to say this one thing. So Stephen A. Smith was talking about now LeBron has a huger voice because Perkins is not that smart. Shannon Sharp has already been singing the LeBron tunes for a long time, but he's a football player and he's not going to be calling no basketball games, right? Nick Wright never played the sport. So this is the best alliance he could have formed. He got JJ now. ESPN and put JJ up at the top. We're going to be hearing JJ voice a lot. This is the best guy he can get with to help push his agenda and to further keep talking about him and great respects. And LeBron deserved to be talked about in great respects. Don't get me wrong. But we know what JJ Redick is about to do with this. This is about to be a lot of meat glazing, right? So Stephen A. Smith is spot on, right? But I do want to play this one thing. JJ Redick was interviewing. What is my man name? Austin Reaves. Y'all remember this meme? When Austin Reaves was in the game, you see the score down there. It's a blowout, right? 2 minutes left. But this meme came from LeBron James telling him something in his ear, and he made the craziest face in the world, like he was confused. And I remember the people in the post game saying that LeBron James must have told him a play in his ear that confused him like hell, and they just was bragging about how smart LeBron was and how high his IQ was and all this stuff, right? And that's what everybody thought, right? We all thought that LeBron just confused this kid because he was a rookie that year. We all thought that LeBron confused this kid so bad that he must have been shocked, like, man, how the heck does this man have this much knowledge in his head? That's the look that he was given, and that's what we all assumed. But when JJ Redick asked him, and this was JJ Redick's opportunity to meet glaze LeBron a little bit more, but he was shocked by what Austin Reaves said. Man, listen to this.
You're a true sicko in all aspects. Before we let you leave, I don't know the answer to this. You probably talked about this publicly, but the GIF, the video of LeBron and you, where he says something in your ear, and you have just the most incredible reaction. What did he say to you?
So we were in Brooklyn, and the game was over. We were up 25, and coach called a timeout and drew up a play. And you know how it is. You're up 25. Some people might not be listening. Some were staring somewhere else. And especially that year, it was my rookie year. Like I said, I asked a million questions, so I knew exactly what I was doing. So he draws up the play, and as I'm walking out, I'm like, Frank, I wasn't doing anything. I was standing on the left wing, not moving. And I just had to make sure. And so I'm walking on the court, and me being me, I asked Bron again. I was like, I ain't doing shit, am I? Like, I'm just chilling. He was like, no, you. I think he got mine and Russ's spot backwards.
Okay.
So he thought where I was supposed to be, where Russ was supposed to be. And he was like, no, you're coming over the top and then setting a back screen. And I'm just looking at him like, I don't think so. But I was just like, oh God. And then literally when I did it, I was like, that's going to be, I go get my phone after the game, and my phone was fully charged, and I was looking, it was on like 5%. It was just blowing up. I was like, oh no.
That's amazing. Austin?
Hey, man, he was so shocked, man. He just ended the show. He didn't have no follow-up question. No follow-up question. Let's just end the show. Thank you for coming, Austin Rivers. He really thought he was about to get a LeBron superhero story right there, because that's what we all thought. Even I thought that. I was like, man, I don't know what LeBron told that dude, but he got spooked. He must have threw some daggone jargon at him he ain't even heard before. And now we find out, no, LeBron was confused. LeBron was the one that was confused. He got the play wrong. JJ Redick, it backfired. He thought he was about to meat glaze him, and Austin Reaves was like, "Nah, I knew it. I was just trying to confirm. Hey, man, I'm just in the corner, right? nah, you blah, blah, blah. Nah, you get me mixed up with Russell. That's not what I'm doing. That I'm over here, right? You know what I mean? So LeBron was wrong. JJ Redick didn't really like that. Wasn't what he was expecting, right? I go in the comment section and I just wanted to see what what the fans were saying, right? The comment that JJ Redick penned is hilarious. Now JJ Redick is a prick and a borderline narcissist and a condescending type of dude, but he's also funny and he's a good guy. I like if I met him, I think we would hang out and it would be a good conversation, right? But so when he penned this conversation or this comment, I know it was in humor, but this is how delusional the fans are. They didn't even want to receive the fact that LeBron was wrong. This man at the top of the look at the comment that's pinned. He's lying. My glorious king wouldn't make such a mistake, bro. He said, "My glorious king would not make such a mistake, man." They don't even want to accept it when it's clear and like when people come out and say it, they still don't believe it. Like I refuse to believe that, and it sounds like a joke, but that's how the fans are. LeBron tweeted today. How did y'all like the first episode of the podcast? You don't even want to read those comments. Them things was X-rated. I mean, it was my king. That's how they started out. My king. These are men. My king. It was on some Coming to America type stuff. The way they was talking to him in the comment section. Go look it. Go on LeBron's Twitter and look at the tweet where he asks, "What y'all think about the podcast?" and read them joints. My phone almost exploded. That's how hot my phone. It was X-rated. I tried to, I unfollowed them on on Twitter. That I'm telling you, the way they was in that comment section was unreal. It was unreal, man. But yeah, that backfired on him. So let's get into the podcast. And I'm gonna say a couple more things and play another sound bite. And then I'm gonna open the phone lines up because I want to hear what y'all want to say about it.